What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy. So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different. As a state, it's much different. And there are no tariffs. So I'd love to see that, but some people say that would be a long shot. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state.
And we're joined now by Charlie Angus. He is a member of the Canadian Parliament. You heard him there, sir. What I'd like is for Canada to become our 51st state. He said it before. He just said it again moments ago. Your reaction?
Well, what President Trump also said is that the tariffs will not come off until we give up our birthright and our sovereignty to a convicted predator. That is never, ever, ever going to happen. So what Donald Trump has done is unified Canadians in a manner I've never seen before. And while Americans may be waking up to the tariffs, we've already started the pushback. People in Kentucky, did you know that your biggest export market for spirits is Canada? We just took everything off the shelves. California, did you know that the largest purchaser of wines in the world is the liquor agency in Ontario? You don't get any more California wines in Ontario. Elon Musk, our premier, just canceled a $100 million deal today. Canada is getting ready for this fight because we know that he's erratic. It may be this week, it may be next week, but there's a huge actual boycott going on in grocery stores, ordinary people stopping me on the streets. Nobody is buying anything that comes out of the United States right now because we understand this is a threat to who we are as a nation.
There are also Republicans here in farm states concerned about ingredients for fertilizers that come from Canada as well. There are a myriad of products that we are just learning about as Americans. Fascinating, although perhaps not under duress to learn about them. He's obviously looking for some kind of concession. You hear him. He talks about Colombia. He's talking about Mexico and the 10,000 Mexican troops. And I know you view him as unreasonable, to say the least here, but do you think that ultimately Canada might end up conceding, or is that not even a possibility?
Well, I think the issue is that Donald Trump is claiming Canada's a narco state. The man's a liar. So would we put some more money on the border? Sure. I'd love to put more money on the border to keep American guns from shooting our people on the streets. We would do that to avoid a trade war. We're reasonable as Canadians. But when you have somebody threatening our sovereignty, well, we're hunkering down for a fight here. So yes, for people in the grain growing belts, potash from Canada is essential. For the tech people, critical minerals, we've already had our BC Premier talk about shutting off the critical mineral flow. Wood, you need that. But the big issue, and I think it was raised by some of your previous panelists, auto. The auto sector is so integrated that within a week, even without the retaliatory trade pressure from Canada, you'll start to see Lansing, Toledo, Bowling Green start to sputter and go down because this is just-in-time delivery. Our whole North American economy is based on this. So that Donald Trump thinks that Canada is his biggest enemy, the guy wouldn't stand up to Putin. He gives a feather to China, but he's going to pick a fight with us. Well, if that's the way it's going to be, we will be there pound for pound. It's going to hurt us a lot, but the American people are much more divided than we are right now, and we are unified. So we wait to see what comes next.
We're going to see this call, or hope to see soon what comes of it. It's supposed to take place in about 45 minutes. Would you say then that Canada is going to call his bluff, or is already calling his bluff?
Well, we've already announced, I think, $125 billion in retaliatory tariffs. We will give 21 days pause so that our companies can start to retool before we launch the next level. We've already started pulling off a lot of American products off the shelves prior to this. I'm hoping that our prime minister will cut a deal. I think with Donald, it's so important that he looks like he's won something. I mean, this isn't gunboat diplomacy. This is really, I don't know, like Al Capone in his syphilitic period trying to do a shakedown. So, yeah, we'll make concessions on something that, he can write a press release about. But on key areas, Canadians would, I think, would hunt our leaders down if they bowed and kissed the ring to the man from Mar-a-Lago. It's not going to happen. So we shall see. I'm hoping that we can get through this and get back to work with our American cousins.
Sir, thanks for being with us. Canadian MP Charlie Angus, we do appreciate it.